World Contraceptive Day is marked every September 26th with an aim of empowering individuals with the knowledge needed to make informed choices about their sexual and reproductive health. Ahead of this day, we speak to Mwanaisha Aura, Programs and Communication Officer at Access to Medicine platform, on marking on the day.
My name is Mwanaisha Aura, and I work at Access to Medicine platform as the Programs and Communications lead. Access to Medicine's platform is a non-profit organization that works to improve reproductive health outcomes for women, girls, and vulnerable groups. So our work, we are dedicated to ensuring that women can access safe, effective, affordable commodities, essential health commodities, including contraceptives. So World Contraception Day is marked every year on the 26th of September. And this is a very crucial day in ensuring that we raise awareness on contraception, especially to young people and marginalized people, so that they can be aware of the various methods of contraception and how they can be able to access them. So there are different types of contraceptives, which are categorized in, three forms. So it can either be short-term, long-term, or emergency. So for the short-term, these methods include methods such as the injectables, the Depo-Provera, or condoms. For long term, we have intrauterine device, the IUD, the ones that's inserted in the uterus. And also we have the emergency, the e-pill, the morning after pill, that is usually an emergency contraceptive method. So for emergency, as the name states, it's emergency. It's not supposed to be used regularly, but only after. It's supposed to be taken after within 72 hours of being engaged in sex, so that's to avoid an unwanted pregnancy. So when it comes to emergency contraceptives, we have really been seeing a trend of young people overusing it. Yeah, like I said, it's not supposed to be used frequently, but only as an emergency. But we find that many young people, they've taken it like a form of contraception. So they use it every time maybe they engage in sex, they use it. And we find that they can be using someone, they are aware that this contraception method is not supposed to be used regularly. Then, or if they are aware that there are other methods that can be used, especially if you're maybe sexually active, you can get a method that suits you and suits your lifestyle and will protect you from having an intended pregnancy. Then that way we can be able to prevent some of the health risks that come about overusing the emergency contraceptives. The long-term methods are like 99% effective, and this is because for them, once they're inserted, they just work continuously until the period of time that they serve. So others go up to 3 years, others up to 5 years. So for me, I'd say long term. However, I don't want to like just pick on one, because like I said, contraceptive methods are different types and they vary for different people depending on their lifestyle. There are people who are comfortable taking contraceptive methods every single day. They can go with the birth control. There are others who are comfortable using it for 3 months. They can go with the injectable one. And there are others who are comfortable using the one for 3 to 5 years, which is still okay. So, but the most effective, I'd say, is the long term, although it's not the method that people end up taking up. Contraceptive methods have different effects, and these effects, they vary in different people. I might be using maybe let's say an injectable, and the way it reacts to me is totally different from you. And that is why we usually encourage people to, even before you decide that this is the method of contraception I want to use, you have to get the necessary information from the healthcare provider, who is going to share with you all the methods that are available, including their side effects. And in a case that maybe you try one and maybe the effects are too they're negative to you, and you decide to end, you don't end and stay without a method of contraception. The best advice would be for you to go to the doctor and say, this is the type of contraception method that I was using, but this is how it reacted to me, and I would like to know if there's any other option that I can use. And then that way the doctor can, you know, tell you the other methods that you can try until you find the one that really works for you. If you want to choose a contraceptive method, it depends. Like, if let's say, it can depend on, am I married or not. If you're married, and of course having this conversation with your husband on when do we want to have children, like what's the gap that we want to, the space that we want to have in between us, conceiving a child, yeah. So that way you are able to know, and it's best if I go for maybe a long-term method. And maybe sometimes someone might be comfortable to be taking pills every single day. Is your lifestyle okay with that? If it works for you, then why not? Just ensuring that whichever method that you choose, especially the ones that are not long term, is that you need to ensure that if it's the birth control pills, you take them every single day without skipping, because if you skip, then it might affect the effectiveness. Yeah. If it's the one for the Poprovera, the injection, if you're told that, usually when you're injected, you're told the next date that it will come, for you to ensure that when that date comes, you get your injection. So it's just making sure that whatever choice you choose works for you, and that it's comfortable for you, and so long as it's also continuous, and you don't get to stop and stay without one just because of the side effects, but find out which other method can work for you. It's very important for you to go to a healthcare provider first, because that way you will be able to tell the doctor your history, your health history, and then they can be able to compare to the available methods and be able to advise which method would work best for you depending on your health conditions, existing health conditions. The most challenging aspect that we see is when we go to the communities and get to see the lack of male involvement in uptake of contraception, that is really, really affecting. So we have these community dialogues, and we speak to women, and they get to say that their husbands do not allow them to use contraceptive methods. So they either use the ones that they feel the husband will not be able to find out, because if they find out, then it will be an issue. And I think that has really, really reduced the uptake, the decision making power of a woman to decide whether they can, take up a contraceptive method, and which one even, just because they don't want the husband to find out. So I think it's a very big challenge facing the, lack of male involvement. And this is something that I think, even as advocates, we really work towards encouraging, because this is something that, the decision of someone to have a child is not single, it's not solely on the woman, but even on the man. Yeah. So having open discussions about, this is how we want to space our children, this is the type of contraceptive that will work best for us, is very, very important. And also, there are instances where you find that there are still health facilities that grapple with issues of stockouts. So you find that someone is willing to access a family planning commodity, but when they go to the health facility, it is not there. So you see, in this case, it's it's making someone not be able to even have their rights, because it's their right to access the contraception, but it's not there. So issues of stockouts in the health facilities has also been a very big challenge in terms of family planning uptake. And lastly, cultural beliefs. There are so many misconceptions out here about family planning. Others say that if someone uses the intrauterine device when they give birth, the baby comes out holding holding it, like so many misconceptions surrounding the different types of contraceptives. And that is why we feel that this day is very important to even raise awareness about this side, so that people can have the understanding, and to ensure that whatever people believe uko mashinani does not pose a barrier to people accessing family planning, because family planning itself has a lot of benefits even in the society as a whole. Yeah, it enhances gender equality. It enhances issues of even education, because if someone is able to, a young person maybe is able to access contraceptive methods, she's able to plan, and she understands that she's maybe sexually active, she's able to access a contraceptive method, and know that I don't want to get pregnant right now and end my education. I can be able to plan that. And also issues of empowerment. Yeah, it reduces if a family gets to know these are the number of children that we want to have, because we are able to take care of them, then there's no that pressure of maybe having to raise so many kids. Like in the past, um, life was, people had shambas. You could have as many children as you want. You have your shamba, you plant your crops, you harvest, you eat. At least you could be guaranteed they'll eat. But nowadays life is so modern, and you find that life is modern and it's also expensive. So if you have a very big family and maybe you're not able to provide for them, then it becomes an issue. But with family planning, you become empowered, and you know that these are the number of children that I can support. This is and you are able to make that decision. So it empowers you. The advice that I give is that accessing contraceptive is your right. You have a right, yeah, to that. And also, this is something that actually you can have a conversation with your husband. You can go with your husband, the healthcare provider, so that all of you get to understand the different methods that are there. Yeah, so that even when you're making this decision, you're already including him. Yeah, so that he doesn't feel like he's left out. Go together to the health facility, get to understand the different methods, have an open form of communication. Yeah, and I believe even when we've been in some engagements where they say, but they ask, we don't know these things, we don't. But if they are empowered, if they know this information, they also get to understand the benefits. So it's just having an open communication, and also for the woman to understand that it's your right to access a contraceptive method of your choice. For this year, the theme for World Contraception Day is contraception choices. The power is in your hands. And this theme is really a reminder that accessing contraceptive methods is our right, is your right. And you have the right to make the decision, like, this is what I want, as long as it's an informed, decision. So I'd encourage everyone to be open-minded when it comes to issues of family planning. Get to understand the different methods. Get to find a method that works for you. Let's involve men in the conversation, because it's for all of us. Yeah, if the society is empowered, it benefits everyone. So I'd encourage even male to be involved, to be open about understanding contraceptive, to be open about supporting their spouses to be able to access contraceptive methods.
Thank you, our viewer, for watching this interview on the advocacy of World Contraceptive Day. My name is Zuleka Salim. Thanks for watching Jabali TV.